Now, among the remaining captives is 84-year-old Amiram Cooper. He's an economist, a poet, and composer, and one of the founders of Kibbutz Nir Oz, from where he was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists, along with his wife Nurit on October 7th. Now, Nurit was released on October 23rd, along with fellow Nir Oz resident Yocheved Lifshitz, but Amiram's fate remains unknown. And joining us now is Izi Kalvo. He is the son of Amiram Cooper, and he joins us from the community of Cleo in northern Israel. Just briefly, as you go back to tell us a little about what happened on October 7th with Amiram and Yocheved. I'm sorry, with Nurit, yeah.
Nurit. Well, at the October 7th, you know what happened in general for them. They were in their house, and 6:30 in the morning, the sirens started with all the missiles and everything. And they went into the safety room that they always do. And we started to talk with them on WhatsApp and on text and to see what's going on. I was in Greece at that time, but we were in contact with them. And around 9, I asked them to lock the door from the inside because there was rumors that there are Hamas soldiers, whatever you can call them, assassins, moving in the kibbutz. And this was the last time we heard from them. They got abducted from the kibbutz around, we know now, around 10:30. They've been slammed onto a truck, and they took them to Han Yunis. My mother broke her shoulder in 3 places, and they got there to the tunnels. They got them in, and since then, they were in together in the tunnels. And my mother got released after 17 days, and my father is still there.
Right. Let me ask you about your mother. How is she doing? It's still not actually even clear, at least publicly, why she was released with Yocheved Lifshitz. It's thought maybe they had been ailing. Who knows? But how can you tell us how she's doing?
Right now, you mean? Well,
yes.
It takes time. She recovers. Right now, she's in a nursing home, and she's coming back to life. And she doesn't talk about it so much now. She's been there. She knows what's going on there. She knows how much they suffer right now when this kind of deal is still on the negotiation table. So she knows exactly how they suffer inside. But right now, she is stopping to talk about it, like she put a barrier and then just continue on. She misses her husband. They were together a very long time, and she's moving with her life. Her shoulder is okay, but her mind is. It will take some more time.
That's hard. Certainly understandable. I just want to talk about your father, because Amiram sounds like an extraordinary person. I mentioned he's professionally an economist, but he's quite well known as a poet, a composer, a man of artistic talents, and one of the founders of Kibbutz Nir Oz back in, I think, 1957, if I'm correct.
Yes. He is a very interesting guy. He's a poet, as you said, but he's also good with numbers. He was doing the accounting in the last years, and he was pushing all the pension programs and everything in the kibbutz. He was very active and also a poet, and it was in the pitch of his life. I mean, it's not like he was 85. Well, there are illnesses and things that people at 85 suffer from, but other than that, he was clear-minded. It was great. He is a great guy. And right now, 4 months in the tunnels. And I don't know how he held there. The last time we saw them was in the movie that probably know about. But since then, we don't know. We don't know anything. And right now, with the deal that's coming up, we are optimistic. Even though
let me ask you about that. Let me ask you about that. What's your message, I guess, to the Israeli government this evening, and maybe also beyond that to the international community as well?
Well, let's divide it to two. Okay, first to my government. I wish that my government was a bit more pro hostages and not less, but there is a war, okay, and we got to do what we got to do. But the first thing we need to think of, and of course I'm not objective, but a lot thinks like me, we need to get back the people that we can that are alive the soonest, because time doesn't do well over there, and people will not hold there forever. And what we need to do first, before everything, to my opinion, is to bring them back home. And then we can continue doing with the Hamas whatever we want to do with them. But first, we need to bring them home. And for the international community, there are two things that I always ask in interviews like this. And believe me, I want to go back to anonymity, but right now I'm just working on the television stations. Two things that are very important. This is what we're doing this. First is don't stop talking about it. Just keep on putting it up on the surface. Talk about it so people will not forget. Still, it's a long time already. It's going to be longer, but we have to talk about it. And second is to help our government to put the pressure on Hamas to start negotiate and finish this thing. I mean, it's 4 months already. It's a long time.
Right. Lastly, we went to a protest in Jerusalem. I don't know if you heard about it. Demonstrators actually calling on the government to, if you want to say, prioritize the war against Hamas, saying that saying they care about the hostages, but they feel the only way is to actually just keep on pressing against Hamas rather than engaging in this ceasefire that could be a part of the deal. We have to say those people, they do have children. A lot of them have sons and daughters fighting in Gaza. Some have lost their lives there. It's an honest debate. What's your message to them?
Try to be human. They're not exactly saying what I want them. I would like them to say or think. But my message to them is just imagine that it's your daughter that gets raped, that doesn't eat your family. They're alive, and he won't be there alive for long if we will do whatever they want to do. We're going to have plenty of time to finish, to win, to conquer, to do whatever they want. But first, we need to take care of those who are still alive and not for long.
All right. Well, of course, Izi, our deepest wishes for the safe return of your father, the full recovery of your mother, and of course, safe return of all the hostages back to their homes. Izi Kalvo, thank you for joining us this evening on I-24 News.
Thank you for having me.